Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you a shoutcast and hopefully a good cast between Jinro, not Jinto. How did I misspell that? Let me go ahead and fix that for you. It is going to be Jinro spawning as the Terran player, and I will close that and update it. There you go. So it is going to be Jinro versus Coca here in the Nerzaim Crypts, or Nerzaim Crypts. Not 100% sure how to pronounce that for you guys, but yes, it is going to be a Terran versus Zerg from a BattleNet map. Hopefully this game does not disappoint. I believe this was taken from the Korean servers, hence the Korean naming here. You can see Slayers Coca spawning as the blue Zerg on the top left-hand side of the map. Meanwhile, on the bottom right-hand side, we have Jinro. So it is going to be Jinro versus Coca, as I mentioned before. And I do feel a little bit more refreshed. And normally the games that I cast on Saturday are probably going to be a little bit of a better quality in terms of the cast, just because I'll be a little bit more well rested after a 10-hour workday, plus trying to just fit in some casting over the week or right after work. I tend to get a little bit more tired, and I tend to miss a lot of things, as you guys have clearly mentioned and pointed out. Now, this is Zerg versus Terran, and there are only 4 spawning locations on this map. It is going to be a cross spawn, so I am curious as to how this really will work out for both of these players. As Heavy9, thank you for reminding me I need to set my status away. So yeah, we'll see how this particular map works out. One of the issues is that a Zerg player generally has a little bit more of a difficult time trying to establish a third base. There's a third base off over here, but it is on a low ground, and it is pretty well. It has a pretty large ramp, so it is going to be a little bit more difficult to try to establish that third base for a Zerg. I'm actually kind of surprised that Coca perhaps didn't thumbs this particular map down, but then again, it is easier than, say, Xel'Naga Caverns if you do want to start your third hatchery as opposed to having to destroy some destructible rocks. There are also 4 Xel'Naga watchtowers in the center portion of the map. A lot of battles normally don't happen in the center. From what I could see, the center is kind of no man's landish with so many Xel'Naga towers, and as soon as you walk through that center, you pretty much are revealed, as we are going to spot a drone now making its way out over here. It knows not to come up even this side of the ramp, knowing based upon the timing of this scouting SCV. We are going to have a drone try to make its way up, but it's not going to be able to do anything at all. As you can see that there is already a Marine making its way down, and we are also adding up a factory. So the factory is being built. It is going to swap locations and then most likely add a reactor as well. So it is going to be double Hellion pressure off of that factory, and Jinro, wanting to make sure that the pressure stays continuous, leaves also one particular, or builds a bunker over here as well. This Marine's going to have a little bit of a difficult time trying to run away from those drones, since it does move a little bit more slowly than all of those units, but this one bunker in a very nice position, making it very difficult for the drones to actually get any damage onto this one bunker here. But a queen is now going to be hatched out, and a Marine may be able to jump in just in time. So yes, the Marines are going to be able to jump inside. SCV is repairing. The drones need to come around the far side here. One Zergling will get taken down. Another Zergling may get taken down as well, as this SCV just doing a good job so far. And it looks like that one drone, it is going to be salvaged. Is it going to be salvaged in time is the key question. It looks like it was salvaged in time, I believe. Taking a look at the losses, not 100% sure based upon the resources lost there, as a Marine was lost earlier, and perhaps it was refunded just a bit, but now double Hellions will be making their way out as well. Jinro at some point should be setting up that command center. Yes, it is in fact already in play, as it is going to be built. We are now going into that double Hellion, also adding on a tech lab. Perhaps we will see some Reapers with those Hellions. Hellions and Reaper combination. Reapers there to destroy buildings, while the Hellions are there to destroy everything else. One Zergling quickly getting toasted, and now two fresh Hellions making a move out, going to shut down another poor Zergling there, and then perhaps try to do a little bit of pressure. But we already see Coca responding with this one spine crawler, making sure to fend off any sort of attack or any sort of engagement there, as Jinro now tries to take a little bit more of that map control, trying to perhaps deny any of these all-important creep tumors. The creep tumor needs to get destroyed. You can see it is already down to 16 hit points, 17. Is it going to get... No, it is going to just get destroyed. It was cancelled, I believe. I'm not quite sure if the queen had laid it down or if that creep tumor was from back over here getting cancelled and then re-established. Very, very nicely done, as these 2 Hellions have taken a fair amount of damage. Another Hellion once again making its way out, wanting to make sure that there are no Zerglings hidden down over here, and Banelings and Zerglings running into a mineral line, just very, very dangerous. Now we'll see what Coca tries to do with his third hatchery. You can see a second queen already being built as well. It looks like it is just going to be a little bit of two-base play here, as he is now getting a gas over here as well. So this is a little bit unorthodox, going for your third gas at your natural expansion as opposed to leaving this particular gas open as well. But you can see that Coca now just currently power droning, getting up 9 drones at a time, and this Overlord was trying to do a bit of scouting and will escape just at 16 hit points. We are currently sitting on 47 drones compared to 28. There are a lot of two mules currently in play as Jinro finally establishes his natural expansion, but this is not good news for him at all. He is behind in the economic race, and he needs to get a lot of damage dealt with these Hellions. Hellions are now finally making their rounds. You can see additional barracks being built as well as Jinro adding on a reactor as well. So it looks like it will be mass bio play coming in from Jinro, and we already see Coca opening up and countering with a Baneling's Nest. A very, very smart call there, as the Hellions are going to be able to torch this one drone. Yes, torching the drone before it even had a chance to grow up and be a hatchery. Zergling's now going to try to come into position. It looks like one Zergling already down. The Hellion's going to perhaps try to get back and try to destroy those Zerglings, but Zerglings moving on creep so quick. And now, oh, a nice cover fire drop. It looks like Jinro will be able to perhaps move in with these Hellions. There's a little bit of a gap in between here, and these drones will get roasted. 2 drones, 3 drones already down. More drones just falling to the wayside. There is a one spawning pool back over here, but enough drones have been destroyed. 11 worker kills already, now evening up 40 to 43. We have a squadron of Marines now down here. It looks like they're going to be trying to make their way out, but this is not going to be a good call, as the Zerglings can easily surround these 6 Marines. But we are going to kill all of these creep tumors, and all this creep will now just all of a sudden be canceled. So this creep is going to very, very quickly recede, and as this creep recedes, the movement speed upgrade will be neutralized. We can now see a medevac currently carrying up 2 Hellions and 4 Marines. There is a hatchery now being built down over here. We'll see what Jinro tries to do with this. Is he going to? Yes, he is going to try to perhaps snipe down this hatchery, leaving the 4 Marines there. The Marines just going to fight back over here. The Banelings should not explode there, but it looks like there's going to be a drop into the main base, or main natural expansion, as drones now getting torched, and this is going to be very, very bad news. Once again, jumping inside that medevac and perhaps trying to get up onto that high ground. Is it going to try to drop it back over here? Yes, and all those drones just getting absolutely torched once more. Jinro up to 25 kills, really showing off the, I would say, the Slayer style of Terran right now, using these blue flame Hellions and then macroing up a very nice army right behind it. 51 SCVs versus 40 drones right now. You can finally see this third base will be established. There is a lot on this front door here. Supply depots, bunker, and an engineering bay. Any sort of Zergling run by will get countered and stopped really easily. You can also see missile turrets being put up all over the place, trying to make sure that those Mutalisks, which are currently getting that level 1 weapons upgrade, will get pushed back. So in order for Coca to now perhaps get his way back into the game, another expansion in addition to some very effective harassment will be needed. Coca now moving in. There is already 1 missile turret over here. The missile turret is as effective as 4 Marines, and just, yeah, 4 Marines with an additional +1 range, so those Mutalisks are forced to pull back there. Missile turret doing such a great job. Meanwhile, Hellions on the low ground and just going to get absolutely destroyed by those Mutalisks here. The Hellions, however, do move slightly faster than the rest of these Mutalisks there, but the Mutalisks, however, are going to have to deal with medevacs and Marines, which will be coming out. Will the medevacs be able to pull in time? It looks like the Marines able to use that stim pack and shoot it down. Now, one of the questions from the recent patch notes is, what is the movement speed of a Mutalisk compared to a Hunter-Seeker missile? Do not be concerned. Mutalisks do move much faster, or still move faster than a Seeker missile. Can easily outrun a Seeker missile. I think it's 2.93 versus 3.75 based upon the movement speed. There is 1 missile turret over here. That missile turret was able to almost grab a target, but then the Mutalisk did back off for just a moment. It takes a little bit of time for the missile turret to line up its shot before it starts firing. As, oh, so many Mutalisks getting shot out of the sky by those Marines. Marines with that level 1 weapons upgrade, able to get a lot of damage here, and now the Hellions are trying to deny any more creep tumors. Coca, with a rather still small army, But that army is very, very mobile. Now just going to continue to clear up all of these creep tumors, and Coca doing a relentless job of trying to lay down as many creep tumors as possible, as banelings are going to be able to melt into this group of Marines here, and it looks like this entire army will get destroyed. The medevacs are in trouble as well. Yes, the medevacs do get taken down, and Coca taking a nice engagement there, but he is still behind in terms of the overall economy. Something you do not want to do against a Terran player, as the Terran player also has mules as well. Another expansion does need to be established here or here at some point. Very, very smart of Coca to leave some units in, like leave a Zergling down over here to see if a command center is being built. There is a new command center currently in production off over here. As you can see, the Mutalists are still trying to swarm around, trying to take all of this very important map control. The Marines getting that additional damage into the back of those Mutalists. Mutalists are very, very weak to Marines, as the Marines do definitely outrange them. And even though the Marines do very little damage per attack, they attack so quickly that it does a lot of damage eventually to this flock of Mutalists. The Mutalists still trying to swarm around. Coca doing a good job just macroing up off of 3 bases right now. He perhaps does need a macro hatch. He already has one, so it is going to be 4 hatcheries versus all the production buildings as a command center now being built. The Mutalists are now trying to rush in over here, and the Zerglings going to get absolutely roasted by these Hellions, but the Banelings are coming in right behind it as well. Perhaps we'll be able to bust in onto that bunker as well. The bunker does get destroyed. Bunkers losing a lot of Marines, as well as the Mutalists able to break open this front door. There are a couple missile turrets in play though, and the missile turret will be able to perhaps destroy 3 of these Mutalists by himself. Very, very nice. There are also 2 Hellions on the low ground, and it looks like this attack has been countered. So the attack has been countered, even though damage was dealt. I think Jinro liked that engagement. He knew that he had lost a lot on that front door. He lost some supply depots and some bunkers, but his opponent lost a lot as well, as we are now going into another Hellion drop over here. How many worker kills? 49 worker kills, 44 drones versus... yeah, 44 drones versus 76, as another Hellion still in position, and it looks like it will get even more kills once again, getting off another kill there. And wow, that was a very effective drop right after Jinro had taken a lot of damage on his own front door. You can see that there's not many drones over here. There's not many drones over here either. A total of 48 drones compared to 76 SCVs. As a planetary fortress now being built, and this is very, very good news for Jinro. Jinro can just sit back a little bit and perhaps try to relax and keep on top of his macro, and then he'll be able to come at and engage with a much larger army. You can see now the Mutalisk going in for a flyby will be able to get a lot of damage onto these SCVs. Mule is also getting destroyed as well, but the Marines able to push back all of these Mutalisks. There is still 1 missile turret being established back down over here, but the Marines are nearby enough as they are starting to get their 2-2 upgrades. Jinro establishing up his 3rd base should indicate Coca needs to establish up his 4th base now, as the Zerglings are going to simply run in, and it looks like they're going to be going for the kill on the front door, but so many Hellions and so many Zerglings battling out. The Hellions trying to finish it off, and oh, doing a pickup right after those Hellions and were able to just torch their way through, and it looks like the Zerglings are just going to be able to run rampant through this base right now. It looks like the Marines are going to be coming back over, and now once again in come the Banelings. Banelings, will they find their target? The Banelings desperately trying to run in, and it looks like many of those Marines are getting destroyed, but they're fighting too close to those missile turrets once again. The Zerglings now dealing an incredible blow to the natural economy, but it looks like there is going to be a drop over here as well. That drop was quickly cleaned up, perhaps just a straight drive-by into that base, as the Marines being produced off of so many barracks, a lot of production buildings, 5 barracks, 1 starport, and 1 factory. So just straight bio here. Here in the crypts. Overlords now trying to back off. A new round of Banelings are being hatched already. Taking a look at the drone count, 44 versus 55, evening things up just a little bit, but Jinro still has some mules to use, and without another base being established by Coca, Coca is going to have a very difficult time fighting his way back into this game. The Marines are continuing their pressure. There is a Queen now engaging. That Queen does not get destroyed. There are a lot of creep tumors now trying to get that all-important movement speed upgrade, as those Hellions now getting destroyed. Zerglings are going to try to engage here. Banelings are going to be trying to run back, and all of these Marines are very, very smart, running straight into the missile turrets and under the cover of that planetary fortress. Units are trying to get transition, but they are getting picked off in mid. in mid-transit there, as the Hellions are finishing off all of those Zerglings, and those Zerglings dealing so much, or taking so much damage from those Hellions. Hellions do not have any upgrades besides that blue flame, something that I think will change in the next patch. As the Banelings, oh, they could have taken down so many of these SCVs. Are the SCVs going to get taken down? The Banelings are running straight in, and it looks like it may actually happen. Yes, a lot of SCVs were destroyed, but unable to really detonate in that serious ball. 52 versus 44 drones now. Marines going to clean up the overlords here, and now try to re-establish the center. Still very concerned that Coca does not have another base up and running. He's just starting to mine off of his bases now, and he needs to do some better trades in order to make sure that he does not fall behind. He can perhaps try to contaminate some of these barracks as they're training up units, and then slow down the production of his opponent. Mass Overseer, one of those strategies that looks very good on paper, but so difficult to execute, as the Zerglings are now perhaps going to try to run into this position here. There are a lot of Banelings. The Banelings could perhaps try to suicide straight into the Planetary Fortress. No, going to try to bust open this front door once again, using just massive amount of force. It looks like the Marines are trying to engage over here, but the Banelings may detonate inside the SCV line, and so much damage being had once again. Marines fighting back against the Mutalisk swarm. One or two Mutalisks just still hanging out over here, but it is now a very small army for Coca. Coca finally up ahead in terms of drones, but no, spoke too soon as a Marine drop happening, clearing up some of these drones over here. It looks like this one medevac looking to transition off over here. There is one queen in position. The Zergling's already in position as well, and it looks like the queen will be able to spear out that one medevac. The medevac dangerously low on hit points, as now we see another counter push by Jinro. Jinro 2-1 upgrades on his Marines as he continues his push, trying to clear out all of these creep tumors, making sure that the Banelings do not have that very fast movement speed. The Marines are trying to stim away, and it looks like the Zerglings will be able to catch many of those Hellions off guard, as there's still an Overseer right here. I'm keeping track of everything there. You can see one medevac with one Marine hiding off here. The Marines perhaps going to be doing another sort of drop in just a moment. That is a lot of medevacs. 8 medevacs over off in this group. Is that 8? Yeah, 7 medevacs plus this one medevac here. A drop will be happening at the third base once again. Drones being transferred over. It looks like the medevac is just going to sit right there, as the Marines are going to be using that high ground and perhaps being able to utilize and destroy it. We are going into infestors now. So Coca going into infestors, as Marines dropping straight into the base over here. The Banelings now simply trying to engage. Will they be able to take it down? No, they will not be able to. And now utilizing that high ground advantage to perhaps destroy this extractor over here. The Zerg is kind of low on gas and minerals. He is now down to 90 food, as well as the infestors are trying to push through. The infestors do not have enough for a fungal growth, and now all of those units will back off once more. More infestors are still being created. You can take a look. 7 infestors already in the field. Coca wanted to make sure to get those infestors out as quickly as possible, and Jinro, seeing those infestors, know that he needs to back off. Infestors very good at dealing with Marines and all of these light units, a light swarm unit, and there's only one Marine left in that group. That Marine will be able to fight back, perhaps get in a couple more drone kills. Here, the drones are trying to perhaps back off, but more drones are still getting destroyed as the Hellions are taking the center. A massive number of Zerglings pulling an entire army away in order to just finish off one Marine with medevac support. Army 4,000 versus 3,000 right now. Another command center is being re-established once again. Jinro perhaps will be able to land it in just a moment, as the Hellions finishing off so many Zerglings. The infestors are in this group. There's the fungal growth. The Marine or the Zerglings able to finish that off. There's a new fresh command center there. The infestors need to be very careful. Nothing that really is going to break down this one bunker here, as the Banelings are going to perhaps trying to roll straight into this group. In comes some mass infested Terrans as well. Fungal growth hitting a bunch of Marines. There's a whole bunch of SCVs down over here as well, as the infestors are still pushing in. A large number of ghosts are still being created. It looks like this command center will get destroyed, as the infested Terrans are still clearing out this natural expansion. But a GG in from Jinro, or coming in from Coca, as Coca doing, or sorry, Jinro doing a drop at two locations at the same time. How long ago was that drop? All right, here, gonna rewind it for you. So it was a two medevac drop over here in the main base. Meanwhile, four Hellion drop over here at the natural expansion. So the main army sitting over here, the Terran player in a very defensive. Banelings getting detonated before they're able to find that bunker, as the Marines are now going after all of these key buildings here. One quick stim would take down both of these hatcheries. Hellions finishing off all the drones, and yeah, 91 worker kills for all of Jinro's army, and very, very well played. There's the GG, or the Korean GG. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed this game here in the Crypts. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.